I really have the idea of doing a house label, because house is or deep house is my second love after techno or Detroit techno, and I was about to give Carsten or Nick Soleil the opportunity to do or to realize something that he always talked about the last couple of years. And then Sven came up and he told me Carsten has a very good track and you have to check it, and if you really want to do the label then we can do it. And so I checked out the track and I really liked it, and thought, okay, let's try it. And that was basically the start of Mojuba. And I was starting out with no distribution and just pressing like 300 records and just give it a try to bring them to Hardwax and look how it goes. Because that's what I did with my first label, Tokamak. I had it with some friends in the end 90s, and at the very beginning we didn't have a distribution as well. So what we were doing, like going around Berlin. At that time there were many record stores, I don't know, maybe 20 record stores, and selling copies there. So it was really easy at that time, and so I did the same thing with the Mojuba one, and then it developed. So they sold like, I don't know, 100 copies in a week, and then a distribution called me, and that's how I got involved with Word and Sound. I think it was because of the stylistic approach of the music. So Artless was from the start focused on techno, because actually I had bad experience with other labels, so I was like, okay, I do have a house label, but actually I'm producing more techno music, and due to this other stuff, these bad experiences, I was like, okay, let's start a subdivision which focuses on techno, and that's why I founded Artless. Wandering was created because the sound of Mojuba and the sound of Artless is pretty narrowed down to a subject, actually, to deep house or kind of dub techno, Detroit techno rooted music. And Wandering was created to publish any music I like, or any music I think should be released. So that's basically the thing. Something that maybe is too minimal or too kind of freaky for Mojuba or for Artless could be done on Wandering, and that was actually happening with the first release from JC Freaks, because that was really kind of fresh, kind of minimal touch house music, but I didn't really feel like releasing it on Mojuba, and that's why there was that approach. And then last year we put out Sven's piano album, which was also a good step to show the concept of the label, actually, just to publish any music that we're loving.
I sent all the tracks to Thomas, and then we created the project Sign with a cool CD album and booklet, and I dedicated this project to my grandparents. And I play all the instruments yourself at home, and the piano, the cello, and the strings. And, it was a big experience for me to create this project. And I love the French movies or the American Western, Sergio Leone, and and then came Ennio Morricone to me in my mind, in my ears, and it was the first love with soundtracks. And later comes Georges Delerue, the French composers, and I love classical music, Bach, Mozart, and Vivaldi, and all kind of stuff. And yeah, it's so inspirational and very interesting music, and it's one of the very old music. And yeah, and then that's the reason I began piano. I play piano for myself, and yeah, it's my second love. I was born in Potsdam. It's really close to Berlin, and one record store exists in the city, in Potsdam, and the owner called Carsten Kaufmann, Nick Soleil, and he was one of my mentors in music and house music and whatever. And yeah, I was in a school, and I saw the record store on the street, and oh, cool. I go inside and then check the stuff, and yeah, a good relationship was created to Carsten and me, and yeah, that was Beat record store, my second home base in Potsdam, and I sleep in a record store, and I worked in a record store, and yeah. Yeah, for me it's really important in a DJ mix is the journey. I play gladly 3 or 4 hours or longer. It's better for me, maybe 6 or 7 hours, no problem. And I create a story for the crowd. And for me it's so important the connection crowd to DJ. And yeah, I like dubstep in the mix or older stuff, and Chicago stuff, Detroit, minimal dub. And yeah, I play with records and CDs, and I create many edits on my favorite tracks or tools, and I play it from the CD. And yeah, I think the journey is really important for me.
A friend of mine was introducing this music to me. That was in 95, 96. And at that time I was collecting a lot of records and buying a lot of records, but various styles of music, even drum and bass, trip hops and stuff like that. So I used to say this expression, I was happy about every bass drum I heard. So and but since I was getting to know him, because we actually met through this whole techno thing, and I was telling him that I really dig the Tresor releases at that time, the Christian Vogel stuff and stuff. He was actually showing me some other stuff, and this was the US kind of music, and at that time was the very famous Purpose Maker series, like from the first to the third release. That was at that time, the end of 95 or 96. I don't know. I don't remember clearly, but I think Jeff Mills was the start, and from there I started digging and started to gain more information about this whole US thing and Detroit and Chicago stuff. I was like, okay, I have to find a way to stand out again in the masses of records which are coming out every week. So there need to be something that's an eye catcher, or even well, with the fabric thing, it's even better because it's something to feel. If the people switch through the new records and they see this little thing, they might wanna what's that, but in the second step, when they realize that the music is good, then it shows the full potential.